So this section isn't very long, even though it's a really important section. And what we realized in a one-day class, we can't tell you how to remove kitchen cabinets and chimneys and things like that. That's not really the place for it. We have a 3-day class where we actually go to a job site and we take a building apart, you know. And so then we're going to remove tongue and groove flooring. We're going to remove kitchen cabinets, literally remove them during the class, you know. That's the idea. So we kept this section pretty short, but full deconstruction. So we've got, once again, the theme is challenge and opportunity. You know, we usually think of deconstruction as taking a building down to the foundation, to the concrete level, and then stop it, you know, because then a machine usually takes over and it crunches up the concrete and goes from there. One of the challenges and possibly an opportunity is, can you save concrete for reuse? Now, I don't know if it was you that said that. One of you guys said that. The idea of taking concrete in slab and saving it.
Yeah, I think
and we've done it, but I'm not saying that I do it on a regular basis, you know, but we have done it. You know, you can't take a concrete slab from a floor that's poured on uneven ground and expect to use that again, you know. But like a mid-level slab or something like that can have a pretty flat, reusable slab. But it weighs a heck of a lot, you know, and it takes a lot to cut it out. We have had examples of making that work. But one of the things that a lot of times in construction, the old foundation is broken. It's inferior. It isn't big enough, or whatever. There's something wrong, you know. And you want to take out a house that was damaged in a hurricane. You want to build a new house. I get it. You have this piece of land. It's going to go back in the same spot because that's why it was there in the first place. I'm giving you an example, right? So there's a lot of jobs that I've done where the people that were building the new house, they had their contractor look at the situation and they would say, you know, this old foundation is sufficient. It's in great shape. It was overbuilt before or whatever, and it's reusable. And they decide, I don't decide that. That's not my job. They decide that, you know. And they say, what a shame, because by the time you end up demolishing the building, you're going to probably damage the foundation, so you might as well rip it all out anyway. Well, that means that they're paying somebody to rip out the foundation, and then they're paying somebody else to re-pour the foundation again, you know. And that could be like $30,000, let's just say. And so then they go, you know, but I know this guy that does deconstruction. Thank you for closing that door. And he doesn't use big, heavy equipment to rip out the building. In fact, by the time he's done, the foundation is completely intact and he drives away. And that's the truth. When I do this work, the foundation to me looks like it could be reused because I haven't done anything to the foundation. It's completely intact. And so we have saved tens of millions of pounds of concrete for reuse by saving the foundation intact without damaging it, and then it gets reused. It may be added on to, but it's not, sometimes it isn't necessary to rip it all out and start over because there was nothing wrong with it in the beginning anyway, right? And I'm talking about buildings that were burned or buildings that are hurricane hit. It didn't hurt the concrete. It ripped the roof off, but it didn't hurt the concrete. You see where I'm going with this? Mm-hmm. So deconstruction can be this service where you take a building down, but not the foundation, and the foundation gets reused. Or maybe a number of concrete walls and the slab get reused. I don't know. But the thing is, demolition people don't want to do this. they want to use a machine to rip it down, right? They only have like one person, and maybe two people, so they don't want to do this, so they don't offer this. I offer this, and people take me up on it, and they do this often, and they save themselves tens of thousands of dollars. So now who's cheaper, right? What are the two things? I got to be cheaper, and I've got to be fast, or I've got to be as, I've got to compete on cost and time. But now all of a sudden, I'm the cheaper option, and the demolition people are scrambling to keep up with me, right? And then we donated the material on another job, and now the demolition people are the more expensive because they don't offer a tax deduction. But the question here, the big question that came up after my first trip here was, some people were saying, most of the buildings are made of concrete, why am I here? What are we talking about? Because it's just concrete. And I was like, well, I wasn't really expecting to get into, we want to do research on how to save more concrete as slabs and reuse them. We do want to do that because I think there's something there, but we're looking at some of these concrete buildings and we're saying, like, well, what is in there? Like a steel roof structure or finished things like these gates or cabinets or doors or whatever. There's still things that can be saved even if the rest of the building is concrete. So we have to rethink about, like, what do we mean by full deconstruction? And I say that I normally go down to the concrete and then I stop and then somebody else takes over. But here, I think if somebody's doing it, they may want to do concrete. They may want to be ready with equipment, to do the concrete too. Or they could partner with somebody who does demolition. But so that's my point about that one is, do we want to keep doing that? Now we got to keep moving here. So let's see. When we're doing the salvage, I was saying time is money. We got to get in there and get out of there in one day. It can be pretty nerve-wracking, like, to rely on somebody else to have everything ready for us. It's like if I go there and it's not ready, then I'm probably not coming back. But in our case, we're in control of that. We assess the building, we bid on the building, we get the job, and then we schedule things out, and we do the abatement, and then we do salvage, strip out structure, and then on to the foundation removal, then we fill and grade, and then we get paid at the end, right? So but when we're doing the scheduling, we often are getting those utilities disconnected. That could mean turning off water. It can mean gas, propane or natural gas, maybe removing a propane tank. We have permitting. Of course, decommissioning AC has got to be something that is common here. Permitting, the environmental testing is something that can really cost you time. If you don't know if there's hazardous materials in the building, then you don't know where they are. You have to test for them. So basically, you have to test for asbestos as an example, and then you have to take it to the lab and analyze it, and then it has to be removed if it's there. So, but that's a process that takes a little bit longer, so you want to make sure you get on that right away. But some of these things, are not part of the job, like rodent baiting. There are some communities where you have to do it, and some where you don't have to do it. And I say tools purchase. I might already have all the tools that I need for that job. I don't have to purchase any more tools, but I'm going to be thinking about that. Dumpsters, we don't always use dumpsters, just, various things. You've got, we have silt fence. I don't know if that's a thing here or not, but silt fence, you guys?
That green stuff there? the red fencing.
Some of them really blocky.
Thinking
The
of
black,
the-
that's there in the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, that they be black or red or,
Yeah, and it goes into the ground and it filters any water that's coming out of the job.
That goes down to the ocean.
Yeah, I would think everything's on a slope here, it feels like. But you know, some of these things are things we do, and sometimes the other contractor will do it for us, you know, or they'll do it for the owner, but we don't have to. And my job is I'm trying to save as many buildings as I can. I'm trying to help as many low-income families as I can. And me putting out silt fencing is not helping do that, you know. So we try to. I mean, personally, I try to do less, but I think it makes sense for you to be able to offer those services. You know, anything a demolition person might do. Again, is this an opportunity or is it a challenge? You know, or it might be both. So you've got buildings. We didn't even get any closer to that project than this picture shows. So I don't even know what I'm looking at there. I just know that I'm looking at a building that doesn't seem to have a roof. You know, it doesn't seem to have any roof. So is it all concrete? Is it all wood? I don't know. But it's something that, that, what was I trying to say here? It looked like they might be some wooden beams, or something like that. And it looked like something where, a lot of the homes we were looking at earlier in the day, we just kept going through these homes, and they were smaller buildings. They had a lot of concrete in them, and they certainly didn't have a lot of wood roofs and things like that. And I was thinking, these probably all had wooden roofs, that are gone now. But if they were, there could have been a big opportunity there, because if all those buildings have to go away, that's not the only building, then it could be a great opportunity for a deconstruction company, because we're talking about how most buildings are concrete, and if this one isn't, and there's a lot of it, it could be a great opportunity, and it could have decent access possibly, because if there was if there was like a parking lot beside it, because remember I said a lot of the homes are on slopes and they don't have any room and things like that. So we could have a real opportunity here. I don't know. And but some of these larger projects could be, ironically, could be the great opportunity we've been waiting for. Now, like I said, we knew when we put this together, we didn't have time to go through all these different aspects, like removing insulation and bricks and flooring and stuff like that. But that's why we do, in a 3-day class, that's why we physically do it. You get a practice pulling flooring in the 3-day class. Well, we don't get a practice today, but we have in the book. Now, so when you see these page numbers, that's the book that's coming. Does that make sense? You don't have it today, but
I'll
you
order
will.
them next week.
Yeah, but that's what these page numbers are referring to. They're in the book that we're sending. It's like 300 and some pages, so it's got all kinds of information.